Where there's smoke, there's fire. We've got a whistleblower claiming that Josh Shapiro was involved with the attempted assassination of President Trump. And since here at Ultra Top Secret, we deal with covert operations and assassinations and assassination attempts, we have to talk about this. Usually when something like this goes on, the old idiom is correct: where there's smoke, there's fire. We have a whistleblower that has made a private criminal complaint that she knows of, has evidence of, has knowledge of Josh Shapiro being involved with the attempted assassination. With Trump, she names Christopher Wray of the FBI, of course. And like I said before, where there's smoke, there's fire. Once we look at the assassination attempt and the things that happened there at Butler, there's obvious that there is coordination between the FBI, the Secret Service, and local people there. I made a video talking about how those buildings had been sold, bought by deep state players just a couple of months before that Butler rally. So they were setting this all up. They were coordinating with the Secret Service. This whistleblower alleges coordination between the Pennsylvania State Police, Josh Shapiro, and the Secret Service. I believe also mentioned is a meeting with Josh Shapiro and Biden. And we've also got pictures with Josh Shapiro and Alex Soros, George Soros' son. We know that George Soros runs the Democratic Party. He pays off all of the DAs to let all of the crooks and illegals and terminators, human terminators, people that terminate other people, back out on the street. Alex Soros, combined with other globalists and other organizations, are working toward taking America down. Trump is America First MAGA player. He's a nationalist leader, and the globalists who want one world government do not like that. So they're doing everything they were doing everything they could to stop him. They tried to lawfare him to get him put in Rikers where they were going to terminate him. That wasn't going to work. Then they tried a confrontation between plainclothes FBI agents and Secret Service. That didn't work. So then they maneuvered this Butler, Pennsylvania thing. We see coordination, like I said, between the state police, Josh Shapiro, the governor, the FBI, the White House. But then we also see coordination with news organizations. Somebody went to short millions of shares of True Social stock. And that is a telltale sign that somebody knows that there's something happening. And by the way, intelligence services, they watch for this type of stuff. They watch the stock market and they watch, and when they see weird, wacky, crazy, out of the blue bets on short selling stocks, they know that something's going on. The intelligence agencies knew that this was about to happen. CNN knew it was going to happen. Washington Post knew it was going to happen. Washington Post had a reporter out there with a camera that could take pictures at 1/8,000th of a second shutter speed. He was there to photograph the assassination of Trump. So we have all these players coming together to work for each other and together to try to take Trump out. We also see that whoever's phone that was of that guy that was there on the building met with the FBI many times. Like I said, I did a video. The building was bought months before by Deep State. And then this crooks, or whoever that was on the roof, that wasn't crooks, by the way, whoever that was on the roof had that rifle somewhere. He wasn't walking around with it, so it was hidden somewhere. This guy was doing drones, taking pictures of everything, had a scope out. They were watching him. He had this rifle hidden somewhere. It was either hidden in that building or around the building. And why wasn't that checked? Because this was meant to happen. The deep state bought that building, had the building, and I'm going to make a prediction. They were inside the building taking shots at Trump while they had this dummy on the top of the roof to be the patsy. Reports said that he was shot by Secret Service head on directly this way, but when you look at the photos of the guy that was hit, his face was intact. He was hit from behind. So lies, all kinds of bull crap. So we have to cover this because we cover assassinations. I have been very good at being able to predict what's going to happen in the future. And like I said before, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's all kinds of connections between Wray and Christopher Wray, the FBI head of FBI, and this stuff. All kinds of connections with all of them. So we're going to check this out and see more and more evidence that supports our theory that the FBI, which we know was involved, they hosed off all the blood of whoever that was on the roof afterwards. They cremated the body quickly. They took everything out of Crooks's house, so no comparison could be made with him and whoever was on the roof. All kinds of wacky stuff going on. Then this Crooks guy and this Ruth guy that ended up at the Mar-a-Lago golf course, both were connected to BlackRock, another globalist deep state player. So where there's smoke, there's fire. There is a lady that is making a criminal complaint saying that Josh Shapiro is involved with this, and I am inclined to believe her. We don't have the evidence yet, but it's all gonna come out. Right now, the dam, there's a trickle, there's a little sprinkle coming out, but the dam is about to break, and all kinds of information is about to come out about this. Trump is going after everybody that tried to derail democracy and destroy America. He's taken aid from USAID. We're finding out that all of that was just going to the CIA and the politicians that were supporting the CIA and other wacky globalist one world government operations that they had going on throughout the world. So by shutting that off, Trump is shutting down the deep state's finances, and that's why the Democrats are out crying about it, because their masters have told them to get out there and complain about this. We've got Nancy Pelosi, $220 million she's got. She's supposedly just a politician. She makes $200,000 a year. Unless she's she's so good at picking stocks, she should have given up being a politician long ago and just been she'd make Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, look like a crappy stock picker. We've got Bernie Sanders out crying about it, Maxine Waters out crying about it. When you look at their net worths, they're worth millions. And so when Trump takes down this USAID stuff, what's happening is they're getting kickbacks when they vote for this stuff. So he's shutting them down. He's shutting down the CIA. He's shutting down the FBI. And all of this will come to pass. I'm putting out this video so we can see that in the future, yes, I was right again. A couple months before September 11th, I told people we were about to get into a big war. It happened. 2004, 2005, I said a massive recession was coming. It happened. 2017, I said that 60 politicians were going to resign before they went for the midterms, and it happened. Never happened before. In January 2018, I said there was going to be all kinds of airplane crashes, and there was going to be important people on board of all these crashes, and that they were targeted kills, and we see that happening. On and on, I keep calling them. I'm calling this one. It's obvious that Christopher Wray is involved with this. Josh Shapiro is also most likely involved with this, and they're all going to get their comeuppances. So let's check out this video by Melanie King and see what she has to say. She's awesome, by the way. Go check her out.
So breaking news, everyone. Let me just read this directly because I do not want to mess this up in any way. Breaking news just announced a federal whistleblower and former Pennsylvania State Police employee filed a criminal complaint allegedly linking Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro with the assassination attempt on President Trump. We have the actual document here, and I have a lot to share with you guys. Make sure you're following me here on YouTube or on X or Rumble, any of the platforms that you are watching this, but especially on X, because I will keep you up to date, and I post a lot that I can't get to in a video. But this is from Butler County, which is where Trump had his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And we know, if you guys remember last year during the campaign season, this is one of the assassination attempts on President Trump's life at that time. He was just former president running again. But let me read you all of the receipts, and let me see if I can make it bigger, because I know many of you are not online like that, so you don't, have all the information. So it says, I am in receipt of your private criminal complaint, which you filed against Governor Josh Shapiro. This is the reply. I'm going to get to the actual complaint against that you have filed against Governor Joshua Shapiro for his alleged involvement in the attempted homicide of former President Donald J. Trump on July 13, 2024 in Butler County, Pennsylvania. Please be advised there are multiple investigations currently being conducted by various government agencies. Due to the pending investigation, I am disapproving your private criminal complaint. So this is important. This is going to lead to today. This was filed in August 22nd, 2024, but the district attorney of Butler County rejected this complaint. Now, I think they expected Trump to lose the election, or they were hoping he would, and this information would never come to light. But this rabbit hole goes deeper. Listen to this. Federal whistleblower filed a criminal complaint. So this is a new criminal complaint that was filed on February 7th of 2025, alleging Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's involvement in the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. It also alleges that Christopher Wray conspired with the Biden administration to hide the reports. The Butler County DA's office is currently investigating these allegations. No arrest or official charges against Shapiro have been confirmed by official sources as of the latest updates. So here is the actual complaint. I was able to get my hands on it. And so you can see here is the private complaint. It names Joshua Shapiro, the governor there, and I believe that is the Capitol building there in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And they even have him marked. His race is white, his sex is male. He was born June 20th, 1973. Sorry, this handwriting is a little messy, but there it is. Now, the name of the complainant is Hadassah Feinberg. So the person, it looks like, that has filed this complaint is Hadassah Feinberg. And this is insane. So it gives an address of Butler, Pennsylvania. And then the defendants, Josh Shapiro and Christopher Paris, Michelle Henry, Val Arkosh, Larry Krasner, and Francis Chardo. So these were the other participants. This one does not say Christopher Wray. It says Christopher Paris. I don't know who some of these people are, but I definitely will be investigating this. Now let's look at the other part of this complaint. Let me show you this at the top. It says, so this is the defendant, and now we're going to see the affidavit that goes along with it. All of which were against the peace and dignity of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and contrary to the act of the Assembly or in violation of 25 and 901.902.903. The other part is ineligible. And it says of the 18. This is just the actual statutes that have been violated. And so there, Hadassah Feinberg signed this. This was filed on February 7th. Now, this is the meat. This is the criminal affidavit. This is the part you're going to want to listen to. I, Hadassah Feinberg, affiant and federal whistleblower, hereby allege that defendant Joshua Shapiro and his personal, individual, and official capacity facilitated, organized, and carried out his plan to assassinate President Donald J. Trump on July 13, 2024. Defendant Shapiro was unsuccessful in completing his mission, but is responsible for organizing and facilitating it, injuring the current president and causing the murder of Corey Compentori. Defendant Shapiro conspired and colluded with Pennsylvania officials, namely the Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris. Now we're getting the names. To carry out the attempted assassination of President Donald J. Trump on July 13, 2024. Defendant Shapiro commenced the facilitation and coordination of the attempted assassination by utilizing Pennsylvania State Trooper Commissioner Christopher Paris to conceal the crimes. I'm going to move that up. Defendant Christopher Paris made false and inconsistent statements under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee around August 2024. He falsified statements to thwart and impede the criminal investigation and obscure the discovery of facts leading to the attempted assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania. Defendants Josh Shapiro and Christopher Paris's actions were willful and not a security failure. As defendant, Paris testified under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee. On July 13, 2024, President Donald J. Trump was shot from the Pennsylvania State Police perimeter at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. This was not within the perimeter assigned to the United States Secret Service, and all statements relating to the Secret Service's failures are false. In his sworn testimony, defendant Paris fabricated, distorted, and willfully blamed the United States Secret Service for security failures and in efforts to divert the criminal investigation and conceal the crimes. Both defendants, Christopher Paris and Josh Shapiro, are named on a RICO lawsuit at the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court for their ongoing crimes of public corruption and fraud in the state of Pennsylvania against thousands of whistleblowers, witnesses, and victims. See Hadassah Feinberg versus Scott A. Evans. Wow, this is insanity. On February 5th, 2025, at least 5 federal provided witness testimony to the state and federal crimes committed by defendant Shapiro, spanning, get you to the next part, spanning over 10 years, including Gregory Stenstrom, Leah Hoops, and Sean Connolly. In the days leading up to the attempted assassination, Alex Soros made credible threats to assassinate President Donald J. Trump. Alex Soros is Soros' son. I'm sorry, my head is spinning right now. This is George Soros' son. He has never faced any criminal investigating despite his valid threats. Defendant Josh Shapiro, a close confidant of Soros and recipient of large campaign donations, carried out the premeditated plan to thwart President Trump from being elected. Defendant Shapiro was actively engaged in laundering funds with Ukraine. The verified election of President Donald J. Trump would not only expose Shapiro's federal laundering, but expose multiple officials from the Democrat Party who were laundering millions of taxpayer dollars. Guys, we have seen that already. I am waiting to put together a full list and several videos just to go over every single detail, every single dollar and where it went in terms of U.S. aid, because the information's all over the place and we haven't had one big thing to talk about all of the details. Defendant Josh Shapiro invited President Zelensky to meet with him in person in 2024, where he physically signed bombs in an unprecedented photo op with the Ukrainian president. In the weeks leading up to the Trump rally, President Joseph R. Biden made frequent visits to defendant Joshua Shapiro to discuss the obstacle faced by the Democrat Party. Joshua Shapiro organized, schemed, and conspired with other officials to carry out the attempted assassination attempt against former President Donald J. Trump. Defendant Joshua Shapiro and Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris are guilty and liable of willful misconduct, and their plans to facilitate and organize the attempted assassination must be investigated and charged. Defendant Shapiro is guilty of committing thousands of crimes, including, but not limited to, threatening, intimidating, and stalking federal whistleblowers, including the affiant and her children, obstructing and tampering with the murder investigation of Ellen Greenberg, actively obstructing and facilitating election interference in Delaware County, Pennsylvania in 2020, and obstructing justice and threatening Matthew and Carolyn Peterson, obstructing the murder investigation of 9-year-old Jared Tutko, obstructing the murder investigation of 19-month-old Iris Mummert. What is happening? Obstructing the criminal investigation of sexual abuse against JG through Michelle Henry. I think they're leaving out the names. It's just initials, usually when someone is a victim of that type of crime. Through Michelle Henry, and obstructing the criminal investigation of child endangerment relating to EGS. These are initials of different people, ERS and ENS, and obstructing. Oh my gosh, I got to get the rest of this. For some reason, I only have 2 pages. Now, I will hunt down any additional pages. I'm trying to find it now, but I want to get this information out. So Josh Shapiro has not been charged yet, but it is now a criminal investigation underway. And there he is with Alex Soros. That is, again, George Soros' son. He is the puppet master, we know this, of the Democrat Party. Say what you will, they're all complaining about Elon Musk, but we know billionaires like him have had their hands and have, pulled the strings of the Democrat Party for decades. So I do have more. This is going out in different places, but this is coming from Pennsylvania arrest warrants. It says it's hard to believe that there may be a bigger story today than the final score of the Super Bowl. President Donald Trump learned today a federal whistleblower and former Pennsylvania State Police employee has come forward with information and filed a criminal complaint this week on February 7, 2025, allegedly linking Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro with the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. And then they are citing some of the allegations from the criminal complaint, which I just read to you, so I won't go over that part again. It's just those details we just saw. But let's go to the next page. 1 second. This says on July 15, 2024 through July 23, 2024, this affiant communicated with Secret Service agent John T. Donahue and provided numerous documentations related to the crimes committed by Governor Josh Shapiro and the Philadelphia FBI's involvement in covering up the crimes of defendant Josh Shapiro. Agent John T. Donahue sent the complaint to headquarters, but the Biden administration blocked it. Wow, guys, we're in a new era. On March 9th, 2024, Supervisory Special Agent Kenneth Keller advised this affiant through email that he contact the FBI Philadelphia personnel, FBI Victim Services, and management at the Washington field office, and that they advised him to direct the affiant to the Philadelphia FBI. Agent Kenneth Keller informed this affiant that the crimes being reported are not occurring in his jurisdiction and that he has no jurisdiction to assist Pennsylvania victims. He advised the affiant to contact the Department of Justice. This affiant contacted the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation. Up until recently, ex-FBI Director Christopher Wray was conspiring with the Biden administration and concealing the reports. So I am, this is crazy. And then it says, now that he has resigned, this private criminal complaint must be investigated. Now, this says March 9th, 2024. And I'm thinking, let me go back. Are they saying they knew of this assassination planning back in March, because then it all happened during the summer. This is, I've got to get more details. Now, it looks like I just found a video of Hadassah Feinberg, the person making this complaint. The video is over 7 minutes long, and this video has been, this video is reaching almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to grab more details, and immediately after this video, I will be posting and reacting to Hadassah here and all of the other evidence that I can gather. Guys, make sure you are...
Very interesting. We've got somebody claiming some things, you know, and they wouldn't even check to see what she had. Of course they wouldn't, but you know, this is very, very interesting. A lot of information in there. So this is just a complaint. This is not any admission of guilt or anything like that, but it is all very interesting. She names names of people involved and gives motives as to why Josh Shapiro would have been involved with this. The whole thing is smelly. We know that it was an attempt. There was probably also people in the building that were firing from the window. That's why they had him at that spot there to line up from where they were at, so they could whack him and then have the real shooters get away. All very, very interesting. This is stuff I've talked about in my other videos, so this isn't the first time I'm saying this. It's all very obvious what's going on here. And I also find it very interesting that Josh Shapiro put that media picture of a bullet hole through glass and $47. I mean, that's obviously code. It had nothing to do with his statement that he put out there. Also, Biden said that you know, he had to be, Trump needed to be put in the bullseye, all that kind of stuff. So they were communicating that, you know, that's how they do comms to, you know, let other people know what's about to happen. This Josh Shapiro, Alex Soros connection, she's saying he's laundered money. And that's why they were working together to try to Trump stop from becoming president. And we're finding out that rings true. We're finding out that Zelensky himself admitted that there was $100 billion that didn't make it to Ukraine. People in America are saying it went to Ukraine. He's saying it never got there. So we're seeing the funds being taken for the paybacks, for the kickbacks, for the politicians that all got up in Congress and waved their Ukraine flags and clapped and stuff. We all see where that money went to. $100 billion disappeared. So, you know, this Shapiro guy would definitely be trying to cover up, you know, his activities if allegedly he was money laundering. It all rings true. So we're going to see. I'm just putting it out there. I am continuously right about these things. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We don't have any direct evidence yet, but believe me, it's coming. All kinds of things are coming. We're going to, the list of people that have been to Epstein Island have all going to come out. All the stars' involvement, videos of even a former vice president is going to come out, and her Diddy freak-offs and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, I've known this for a very long time. This is something that Trump uses. He has. It is a tactic that they like to use. You know, when Trump, he's a billionaire. Everyone acts like he doesn't know what's going on. The media likes to do that, but you got to remember, this guy's a billionaire and he has security details. He doesn't just hire Joe Blows off the street to protect him. He hires former intelligence agents to hire him. Intelligence agents that still have connections to intelligence people that are still active. So Trump knows, even before he became president, a lot of what was going on. And months and months ago, I was talking about how they were targeting Epstein Island. I was talking about it before anybody else. I was talking about how they were about to go in there and shut that thing down. I was talking about months before it happened how Epstein had spent $13 million to have the tunnels under his island demolished, and 2 months later, a 6.7 magnitude earthquake centered on that island went off. It was obvious that there were tunnels underneath that island. Trump and them are getting all this stuff. They know, and that's another thing too. That's how they're brokering peace. I did a video on this too. They're brokering peace with Israel because of the Mossad agents that were involved with Epstein. They've got a lot of evidence and video evidence with Mossad agents, and they are using that information to stop the war in the Middle East and strong arm the Israelis to stop doing what they're doing. This is a tactic that Trump uses. He gets the bad information that are out on people, and then that allows him to stop wars and other things like that. There was also another very interesting tidbit of information that was floating around. Trump had bought one of the buildings, I think it was on Fifth Avenue, 666 Fifth Avenue. And I think that was the old building that the Wolf of Wall Street guy used to hang out at. And I heard that Trump had bought that building so he could get the security tapes of all the shenanigans that were going on there, things being said, and comings and goings of that building. So what they're doing is they're using all of this stuff. As soon as P. Diddy, they started circling his house, I immediately said that he was an agent. Go check out my videos, some of my very first videos, long before it all came out. I said that they were, this had to do with the election. This was 8 months before the election, and they moved in there and are grabbing stuff. So they're going to, all of this stuff they're going to be able to use to take down the deep state, and God bless America. I cannot wait for it all to happen. So that's it. We're going to get on out of here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next Ultra Top Secret.